Welcome to another episode of the KSBN TV Sports Center. My name is Roberto Gudino, and I am your host for today. I am joined in by a new person in the KSBN TV cast, Victor Avila. Victor, how are you doing?
Good, I'm good. How are you doing? Welcome to the KSPN Sports Center. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so as we have been saying, in the other recaps, for soccer and basketball were coming. And I said there's going to be new guests, new hosts, a little bit of different stuff coming. And we have it here. Victor's one of our new hosts here. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the soccer for the Channel League as well as the Citrus Coast League. So we're actually going to start off with a recap of what happened last year. So you guys are understand a little bit, what happened last year, like where are the teams at? Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different, but it gives us a little bit of idea who's going to be good, who may not be that good. So we'll see here. So Victor, take it away. What do you have from last season?
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me again. It's been quite a long time since we last saw each other here, but we're glad to be back on it. And we're here going to hit you with a recap real quick. Last year, Laborio, it was all over the place, at least for the Citrus Coast League. For the girls basketball, we're going to start with the girls basketball for the 2022-2023. Santa Paula just mowed down the competition 12-0 overall. I mean, it was pretty dominant performance by Santa Paula. And I'm gonna tell you this. One of their great forward shooters, forward guards and stuff like that. In their team just shot one of the most in my opinion, one of the most complete seasons overall. And guys, if you guys have any questions about stats or even scores, sometimes here in the show, we thank Max Preps. We always go there to get our information, and then sometimes we go. Actually, we're going to be at courtside or reporting from there, and maybe one of the episodes we'll get some incredible facts. But let me get back to the Citrus Coast League in the girls basketball department. Santa Paula just 12-0, followed by Malibu 8-4, Channel 9 7-5, and then Nordhoff High School 7-5. Carpinteria, now it gets a little bit dicey here towards the bottom, of the rankings or whatever, the stat line. Fillmore 3-9, Wainini 0-12, finishing the season. I don't know what's going on down there, but we got to get the competition up there, Laborio. What do you think right now? I mean, Santa Paula, we were there for a couple of years or a couple months, for me, a couple months, but you were actually alumni from Santa Paula. What do you think for this year? Given the stat from last.
If you guys have been here in with the KSPN TV cast for a couple of years, you guys know I was the announcer for girls basketball. We had boys basketball. I'm not going to lie, girls basketball is always amazing to broadcast. They had some amazing games, and I just think it's just because of how well coached they are. I'm a huge fan of what Coach Jordan does. I got the chance to meet him at the in Santa Paula High School, and he's honestly a really good coach. He's the girls love him. So it's honestly, I think he's a big reason why this works so good. He's a really good coach, and they're always up there. Boys basketball, as we're gonna see here, but the other years they weren't that good. But girls basketball have always been very, very good, and I think it's a huge part to him because people come and go, and all of a sudden they're the ones that keep going and are always in the first places. And yeah, if you guys want to check out the other games, they were amazing. Honestly, they're just so fun. I really, really enjoyed girls basketball. I think that was one of the sports that, other than football, probably that was probably the best, the games I like to cover the most. So honestly, I'm expecting another big season from them. And as you said, last year they had a really good season, and that's honestly what to expect from that team.
I know Laborio, it's one of those sports, especially, in the women's department, these girls ball their butts off. I'm talking about relentless, even sometimes, more than the guys. They're more athletic, more aggressive, more to the ball. I mean, the games might be lower scoring, but hey, the action is nonstop. I'm gonna give you a quick stat here. The number three, or in the third place here for the most points scored, 259 points. The point guard, Mayana Galvan from Santa Paula, the point guard, 259 in just 23 games, Laborio. And then in those top five, we also have Jalen Rico, another point guard for Santa Paula, who scored 139 points in just 19 games. So look, this offensive unit and these girls are just scoring points here. And it's crazy. The number one girl that scored 288 points in just 16 games from Malibu point guard and shooter guard is Hannah Kepler from Malibu. So, it's crazy, how much stuff is going on. And we're just going to get started, and we're going to start reporting all this good stuff here in the next coming up weeks and months. And now let's go do a little recap here for the boys in the Citrus Coast League boys basketball. 11-1 Nordhoff, 8-4 Fillmore, 8-4 Santa Paula. We got a tie there. Channel Islands 6-6, Malibu 6-6, another tie. Carpenter 3-9, and then we got Hueneme High School, who lost all their games. Pretty tough sledding in there for the Vikings. I mean, my alumni. I don't know what's going on. I gotta get in there. I gotta get all the information for these Southern Oxnard people that watch our show. And just a quick little the number one shooter here for this Citrus Coast League boys basketball, William Cereses, the point guard, with just 17 games, scored 333 points. Laborio, any thoughts on these tremendous, literally tremendous, just crazy middle of the pack, that like games? I mean, you're talking 11-1 Nordhoff, just dominant season, and then you got 8-4 Fillmore and Santa Paula rivals, and then you got 6-6 Malibu. So, any thoughts on this, boys?
I mean, yeah, it's obviously a tough competition. We know that, as you said, 11-1 for Nordhoff. It's honestly basketball, especially boys basketball, it's always very intense. There can be blowouts though. I think there was a lot more blowouts in terms of boys basketball compared to girls basketball. But honestly, they're really, the intensity that each of them play. As I said, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Santa Paula because that's where I was, that's my alumni. I have a little bit more knowledge on that. And I mean, I'm glad to see that they're actually improving because when I was there, and we broadcasted their games, they weren't, winning as much games as they are now. So that's a very good thing to see. I'm glad they're able to, get it together. I remember a main issue was height because in Santa Paula there wasn't that many as you could say taller people as other teams that I remember going to the games and broadcasting those games, and they were really tall. So to be honest, I haven't really watched their games like that yet. Obviously plan to do that. And I mean, I'm glad to see that they're winning games and they're getting it. But obviously, the Citrus Coast League is always very competitive, and all the teams are always going to be in it, and we're gonna see. You guys stay tuned because like I've been saying for football, we're here to stay. We're here to bring this to you every week, give you guys updates, what's going on. So yeah, just stay tuned, and let's see where the season takes us.
Exactly, Laborio. I mean, it's one of those leagues. It's one of these leagues that captivate you. I mean, I played football 4 years in Hueneme High School. I know competitive when, we're talking about competitive. You know what I'm saying? Keeping games close, keeping games, people on their feet. Yes, there were blowouts. Yes, they are going to be, getting run through, by these different teams, at a league. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that can skew what people think about your sport, think about your team. But the Citrus Coast League, man, is one of these leagues that the people that were creating it knew the type of competition. So moving on, we got the Citrus Coast League soccer standings for the 2022-2023 season. Santa Paula coming in at 12-1. Man, Santa Paula 10-2. Channel Islands, Fillmore with a 9-3. Wainimi 6-6. Carpinteria 5-9. Nordhoff 2-10, and then Malibu 0-13. And just to give you guys a little bit, just to put a little bit more seasoning on the Santa Paula plate, Cynthia Ramos, the forward right wing, with 24 goals, the max on the year. And there's more birds here, right? You guys are Cardinals, Santa Paula Cardinals.
Yep.
There you go.
Yes,
There's more Cardinals here. Yahaira Ramirez, halfback from Santa Paula. She scored 10 goals. And Anaí Davis, forward right wing from Santa Paula as well, 8 in the season. But look at this. Top 5. You're talking about top 5. In those top 5, you have 3 of the best scorers, throughout the whole season. I mean, that has a lot to show for this Cardinals squad. And the record shows for it, 12-1 overall. I mean, you can't, and you're number 1 in the standing. So you can't go wrong with boosting up the Santa Paula for this coming up season.
Yeah, so I actually had the chance I remember broadcasting those games, girls soccer as well. And girls soccer they were always one of the better teams. I got the chance to meet their coach right now. I can't remember his name, but they're honestly really well. They're really good. I remember Cynthia Ramos was a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken, when I used to broadcast her game, and she was already one of the best players, as well as Yahaira. I remember she used to be. I remember that she was part of the team too. I think those two were the starting forwards when I used to broadcast those games, and they were sophomores. So we knew that they were going to be one of the better players of the whole league, and we're seeing it here. I mean, 24 goals. I remember she was always very, very good. I believe she went to the same middle school that I did as well. So honestly, they're playing really well. They've always been, one of the top teams. Their playoff games, they're very intense as well. So yeah, I mean, we're excited. Obviously, Santa Paula, they're doing good in winter sports so far. Obviously, they're not league games yet, but I mean, we're excited for that, playing good. Hopefully it's not like the Santa Paula football team though, that actually was doing very well in terms of non-league games, and when it came to league games, they struggle a little bit. But let's hope that's not the case. But honestly, girls soccer also, honestly, female sports in Santa Paula High School is very, very good. Pretty much in every single sport, they're always competing, and they're always one of the better teams in the leagues. So, it's exciting. It's exciting, considering I was there. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this season.
I mean, and it's good to boast about these teams because, man, when it comes down to, hey, there's 3 weeks left of nonsense stuff, right? Now we get into league games, meaning now the real stake stuff starts popping up. And we as broadcasters and reporters, we live for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Enough of that nonsense. Same with when it comes to, national, international, national pro sports. We're like, okay, we're done with a preseason. Let's get started on the real stuff because I need to know if my team's going to be, playing in February, for example, the NFL. I need to make sure my team's playing in late, January, towards that championship. And with that being said, now we're moving on to the boys in the Citrus Coast League. Santa Paula again at 10-1-1 with a draw. Channel Islands 8-3-1. Now we start seeing these triple, disgusting. Well, for us, I'm a football guy. You know what I'm saying? I hate seeing those 3 numbers, next to each other because I know, something funky went down in that game. Fillmore 7-3-3, Wainimi 6-6, again 6-6. Nordhoff 5-5-2, Carpinteria 3-8-2, Malibu finishing off with 0-13-1. And let me just give you something. Santa Paula, for being number 1, did not have any of the top 5 scorers. Instead, it was all of Fillmore. All Fillmore. I have Jesus Angel Avila, the striker for Fillmore, with 13 goals, the most on the league. So 13 was the number to beat last year. 13 goals.
Yeah, so honestly, boys soccer, I think I was able to go to one game last year. I'm not too sure who they went against, who obviously for San Paul. And I mean, they're always there, they're always competing. I remember when I was there in I actually tried out for the team. I didn't make it. And it's honestly they're very, very good. And Coach Manny Elizarraras is a very good coach. And honestly, it's good to see their obvious coach. I know Elisa Raras is always there, wanting to be, CIF champs. Fortunately, he hasn't gotten it yet, but I know he's always working hard to get it. So, we'll see this season.
All right, we're gonna ran through these. For the Channel League, San Marcos 10-0-1, 9-2 Oxnard now for the Channel League, 9-2-3 for Oxnard. Pacifica 10-4, Buena High School 6-5-3, Dos Pueblos 4-7-3, Santa Barbara 3-8-3, Ventura 3-10-1. And Rio Mesa 0-12-2. Top scorer here, Nathan Lopez for Buena with 22 goals, forward, right wing, and he also plays middle fielder. And we're gonna skip right through. I'll get your comments after we get the girls standings here. Ventura 12-2-1, Buena 9-4-1, Oxnard 8-5-1, Pacifica 7-5-2, San Marcos 5-6-3. Rio Mesa 4-6-4, Dos Pueblos 4-6-4, Santa Barbara 0-14, and Caitlin Wright, striker for Ventura with 11 goals overall. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like these numbers. I mean, for me, okay, just seeing the numbers, the level of competition. The level of competition, and we got to know that these numbers are overall numbers, but regardless, that Ventura number one place, 11-2-1. You cannot dispute that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. These teams are, it's gonna be interesting because, I was able to follow them in football. I don't know too much about them, in terms of basketball and soccer, but I mean, that's how we learn, I didn't know too much about the football way. And I had the honor to show this to you guys every single week and stuff like that. And it's honestly, we're very excited for it. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, we're gonna see right now in a couple of minutes, what are they doing this year as well.
Exactly. So we're just gonna finish right through with the girls basketball in the Channel League and the guys basketball Channel League. Ventura in first place, 11-3. Pacifica 10-4. Oxnard 10-4. 9-5. Buena. San Marcos 9-5. Dos Pueblos 5-9. Santa Barbara 2-12, and Rio Mesa 0-14. Charisma Lewis, shooter guard, point guard, 25 games, 500 arboreal points. That's the most. Okay, and 25 games. And second place, Micah Garrett, guard from Oxnard, who got more points and more games, 28 games, 528, brother. And I mean, it's just the level of competition. And this is what we're here for. This is what we want to give you guys, this exciting, content. And we're going to go straight to the guys for 11. Sorry. 14-0 Oxnard, 14-0 Oxnard, 11-3 Buena, 10-4 Santa Barbara, San Marcos 8-6, Rio Mesa 7-7, and the guys, Dos Pueblos 4-10, Pacifica 1-13, and Ventura 1-13. Zane Carter, point forward, 36 games played, 608 points scored, most in the league last year. The competition is hot. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, it's gonna be tough. Will these teams replicate what they did last year? These top teams. It's obviously very hard. It's like, if you watch college football or college sports, some players are gonna leave. So, it comes up to you have to be well coached, because you can't rely just on those players, because you have to know that these players are most likely gone. It's not, they're always, freshmen and sophomores. They don't really get into varsity yet. So realistically, you only have them for 1 or 2 years. So you can never stay satisfied with your play. You always have to look for more talent, and you have to have your system correct and know what you're doing. So when people come, behind them, they're able to replicate and keep this machine going. It's a machine, on high school sports, you have to continuously just look for players, play your system always, and always look to win the championship.
All right, we're going to just here. We're gonna share here the standings. Holy cow! For the Citrus Coast League, Laborio, please read these. These are the preseason, guys. 3 more games until real stuff happens. Laborio, starting with the Citrus Coast League boys basketball. Take it away, brother. Look at this.
My pleasure. You guys know I always like to, talk about the standings and the upcoming games. So we're gonna start off here with first place. Santa Paula is with a 3-1 record. Then we have Channel Islands with a 3-3 record. They played pretty much more games than all of them. Then we have Carpinteria with a 1-2 record. Nordhoff 0-3, Wainimi 0-3, Fillmore 0-4, and Malibu are yet to play a game. Then we have boys. Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Then we have boys soccer here, in which we have Channel Islands are 1-0 already, winning their first game 2-0. Then we have Nordhoff is also 1-0, winning their game 5-1. Then Fillmore is 2 wins and 1 loss. Then we have San Paulo, which is actually is what I'm saying. This week, this doesn't come. How do I want to say? This is how, what they did last year doesn't translate to what happens this year. And we're seeing it there. They're 0-3-1, allowing 8 goals in 4 games. Then we have Carpinteria, Wainimi, and Malibu have yet to play a game.
So we'll keep you guys updated, next show, next segment, on what's going on. And remember, guys, this is just the post, the preseason games, non-league games included, which most of these teams start playing. It's like a little saucing them up for the real thing. And if you want to go straight to the Channel League, just to kind of finish everything off here.
Yeah. So here in the Channel League, we have Dos Pueblos with a 1-0 record. Then we have Santa Barbara with a 2-0 record. Oh, this is boys basketball. Sorry, I had to mention that.
Yeah.
And we have Pico Arce's team, Pacifica, with a 3-0 record. Buena with a 5-1. Oxnard 3-1. Rio Mesa 2-1. San Marcos 2-1. And Ventura is actually 1-2. So all of them have a positive record so far. Then we have for I believe that's girls basketball or boys basketball as well for the Channel League. As then we have Ventura is 1-0. Then we have Buena, one win and 1 loss. Rio Mesa is 3-1. Oxnard 1-1. Dos Pueblos is 0-1. Then Pacifica, San Marcos, and Santa Barbara have not played a game yet.
And then we go to the Citrus.
We'll go to the Citrus Coast League now. Girls basketball, in which Santa Paula is 2-0, Carpinteria is 2-1, Nordhoff 0-3, and Channel Islands, Fillmore, Wainimi, and Malibu have yet to play a game. So as we've said, it's a slow start so far, but they're gonna start coming up. As well as girls soccer, Malibu is 1-1, Santa Paula is 0-1, and we have Carpinteria, Channel Islands, Fillmore, Wainimi, and Nordhoff have not played a game yet. Then we have Channel Girls Soccer is Ventura 2-0, Rio Mesa 1-1, and the rest of the teams have not played yet. And then to conclude, the Channel League for girls basketball, in which we have Ventura 1-0, Oxnard 3-0. Then we have Dos Pueblos 3-0, Buena 3-1, Rio Mesa 1-2. Santa Barbara and San Marcos are both 1-3, and Pacifica have not played a game yet. So as we said, we're just getting started. So yeah, it's exciting. So far not too many games yet. There's some teams that have not played yet, but yeah, we're gonna get into this.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Laborio. I mean, more stats to come, more standings to come, bro. And I'm happy to be back here. Thank you for having me in the first episode of the new season. Winter sports. Winter's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Laborio.
Yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. My name is Liborio Godino. Sorry, we had Victor Arce, and we are out.
Thank you.